doing this morning is digging up the front yard. Like I said, we're trying to get rid of the lawn completely, and we're actually going to install these containers. Same container that you see here, this is our test subject here. And as you can see, it's getting morning sun. It's not even 7 o'clock in the morning, and we already got sun here. Alright, so if you can find a location in your front yard that gets at least 5 or 6 hours of sun, I say 5 because depending on the plant you're going to plant, you can put plants in the ground that get 5 hours of sun. As you can see, we got weeds all over the place. Many of them are edible. But if the weeds can survive, then the plants can survive. Alright, always remember that rule of thumb. So, you might wonder why I'm leaning, because we're actually on a hill. I'm looking up, y'all looking down at me. So what we're going to do, since we live in an urban environment, you can see the street right there, is we're going to use containers because of, let me say this. Much of what we do, we're not just planting food, we're trying to figure out ways to protect against ecocide. Alright, look that up. ECOCIDE. ECOCIDE. Alright. So one of the ways that you can cut down on the toxins that are getting in your plants if you live in an urban environment is to use containers. This is a very large container here. Let me come up there so you can see. I don't want to step on my tomatoes. Let me walk around this way. This container has holes in it. You want to make sure that your container has holes in it. And these holes we actually drilled in it, alright? So, your plants don't like to sit in water. And that's another reason why it's a good thing that we live on a hill. Because the water just drains off. Alright, so set your container right in the middle. And what you're going to need is some gravel. I always say to reuse your resources that you already have somewhere on site or nearby that's going to be free. So we got some gravel here. We're going to pour that in first so that the holes don't cake up. This gravel is going to prevent that from happening. Living in a so-called hood, if you think that security is going to be an issue, somebody's going to walk off with it. It's going to take about 4 people after we get done with this to move it. And plus, it's not that expensive, so why would they do that? You know? Alright. But why else do criminals do what they do? Alright. So, we're going to dig the dirt back into the hole, securing the pot. Same thing we did with this other pot here. Afraid to get your hands dirty either. I'm trying to hurry up because I don't have my cut and paste software that I had last year. Alright, doing it the old fashioned way. Alright, so basically that's it. Then you're going to get your soil. Or in this case, you're going to use potting mix. I'm bending over because I don't know if y'all can see me in the camera. You're going to get your soil or your potting mix and put it in. Leave about an inch from the top. So when you water it, the water won't overflow. Alright. Then of course, you want to get your harvested rainwater that we showed you need to collect. Every time it rains, yesterday, got a heavy downpour. Friday. They got the heavy equipment. This is good exercise right here. Because it's not even 7 o'clock in the morning, we get our exercise on. You wonder why some construction workers are fat. Because all they doing is sitting there working the heavy equipment. They not up doing the actual physical labor. Alright. Brothers like me don't have no crew, it's just me. We do it on our own, little by little. So this tomato plant that you see right here is very productive. I don't know if you can see the tomatoes on there from that distance, but it's been very productive. So if a tomato plant can survive right here, then you know fruits and vegetables that require less light can also survive right here. Alright. The other pointer I want to give you is to make sure you do this in the morning before the heat of the day in the middle of the summer, because again we're going to have another 90+ degree day here in the DMV, and we don't want you to have heat stroke. That is a possibility. So you see I'm sweating already. You don't need a gym membership if you're a gardener. If you're doing the physical labor like I am, you really don't. I'm a middle-aged man, and I'm in pretty good shape to be a middle-aged man. Good exercise, excellent exercise. Start getting rid of your lawn, because it ain't doing you or the environment any good. I noticed when I was digging that this was basically just sod. Whoever lived on this property before me just laid sod down. That's all they did. Alright, so it ain't even what they would call real grass per se that just grew on the site. But luckily the weeds, I'm saying luckily because I'm not like a lot of people. If you look at a green lawn represents genocide. Genocide of everything except for the grass. Alright, and we've seen that in our own lives, so we know it's not a good thing. So basically that's it. You add your soil or potting mix, you add your seeds. Now what you want to do is you want to cover your seeds up with some type of plastic that sits up about 3 or 4 inches off of the soil, so that the birds and other wildlife can't get in and tamper with your seeds. Alright, because the birds are out here scavenging every morning. They're on the property right now scavenging. So try to make that as brief as possible. Sorry if I went a little long. Remember, pot, drill holes in the bottom, enough holes so that the water can drain out. In fact, I want to do a test right now. That's why I have this bucket of water. Pour the water in, and the water should drain out in about 30 minutes. Alright, if it drains out in about 30 minutes, you're good. 30, 45 minutes. It's good enough drainage. But what your plants don't want to sit in water all day. That's what you want to avoid. It's starting to bubble already, so that means it's draining already. Alright, trying to remember anything else because we're not going to have another opportunity to do this. I guess while I have my other bucket of water here, I can demonstrate how we water our tomato plants. Actually, nah, we just had a heavy downpour. That's where we got this rain water from. It's harvested rainwater. So we don't want to overwater the plant. So it's draining a little slower than I would like. So what I'm going to do is we're going to elevate this just a little bit to put a little bit of space in between the bottom of the container and the ground. I think I just stepped on a tomato. And to elevate it, use your body weight. Just put a little dirt in there. Alright. Put a little dirt in the bottom. Elevate it. Simple. So you want to test everything now before you actually get the plant in there. But once you get everything in there, it's already pretty heavy. But once you get the soil or the potting mix and the plant starts growing, this is going to be too heavy to deal with. Alright, anyway, this has been Dapu. I hope this has been helpful. Peace.